Alrighty, we have a real old switch here. Listen to how that snaps. That's an old one. And they said this one doesn't work. So we're going to see what that one's hooked up to. And we're going to put a nice new quiet switch on this one right here. Okay, so this one, we're going to put a new switch on this here. Okay, they didn't do too bad of a job hooking this one up. Okay, the box is flush here, but it's recessed back up here, so we're going to shim this out also when we put our new switches in. Now this is upside down. See how it says no? Here in the country I was born, and down is off, up is on with your single pole switches. So we have two older wires on the switch. Okay, so we'll get our new switch and we'll put it on here. If you remember before, these switches were pretty wobbly and loose, weren't they?
What was that?
These switches were very wobbly and loose.
Oh, that's what it was?
Well, I'm going to put two nice new ones in.
Yeah, ever since we moved in, just that one side it worked, that one switch.
And you can see how they got some insulation under the terminal because they stripped it with a jackknife. So we're going to re-strip these, get a nice clean strip on these wires.
Yeah, from my understanding, this is a very old building. I mean,
This wire here looks about 30 years old, and this is probably 50 years old.
yeah, I'm finding it hard to believe that this building, these were doctors' offices up here.
Oh, this was a doctor's office?
This was a doctor's building, a medical building.
Oh.
This apartment that we're standing in right now was the office. It was a doctor's. I don't know. I guess this was the waiting room here.
Oh.
I guess that was the office over there.
Oh, was it all doctors up here?
Yeah, there was a doctor's office up here.
Okay, so we're going to make our loop the direction here.
That's weird.
I always thought it was apartments all along. Get a nice connection like that. That's what we want. You always put your wire around the screw, the direction our screw turns here. Okay, there's what we want for our connections. Now we're going to get something to shim this out up here. It's flush on the bottom, so I can screw this back into our box. Now we'll use some nuts here to shim this out. Okay, so we'll shim it out with a few of these 1032 nuts so we can bring it out so we can get the switches screwed in flush to the wall. Okay, so we'll get it centered on our screw here. And we have it centered up here. So now we have our switch up here nice and tight. Now we'll change this one. Now this is older wire here, so this is cloth and rubber, 2-wire cable. And it's probably 50 years old or so. So I'll make a better loop here. Okay, we want to get this fraying out of our way of our connection here. Cloth. Oops, I'm going to close my ground screw since we're not going to be using our ground wire. I don't know what the switch goes to though. Do you
What
know?
was that?
Do you know what the switch turned on and off?
The one you're working on right now?
Yeah.
Nope. I mean, we'll turn it on, but nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got two bulbs up there.
Yeah.
And,
I'm not going to mess with this old wire too much because I don't want to
yeah.
crumble it.
Right.
I do want to close the loop around the screw the right way though. Make sure it's nice and tight, and I can see how the tightening the screw closed that loop around the screw. We got our copper under the screw head all the way. So now I'll come down, come up here and get this wire. There we go. I don't want to be messing with that older wire too much, even though it's a little bit longer than I want it, but I don't want to crumble it and make it crumble, so I'd rather have it a little bit long and crumble. There we go. We have our copper under the screw head all the way around. Now we can screw our device back into our box here. Well, if the screw doesn't go in, you don't frustrate. If it's not going to go, it's not going to go. Okay, we'll get our top one nice and straight here. Okay, we got nice and flush and tight to the top here. Now we got to get that screw to go in the bottom. If we can't, we can't. We are not going to frustrate. It's not going to go. It's not going to go. Let's try another one here. Oh, the old one that was there went in. Maybe the new one was bad on the end, so got it in. So let's put our cover back on here and Okay, we have to slide this one over just a smidgen. There it is. We got to bring it to the bottom of just a smidgen. This cover is UL listed. It's made by GE and it's made in China. There, we got it nice and flat now, so we can put our cover screws back on. Come here, take a look at these switches, see what you think.
What was that?
Take a look at these switches, see what you think. Nice and tight. Do you want to be in the picture at the end saying how I did?
No, I think you did fine. You could do that. Good job.
All
Yeah,
right.
that one, the other one won't do anything.
Right. Well, I don't know what it goes to, but there were wires there, so I just hooked it up. So that is how to replace light switches here in the country I was born in. Peace.
You don't need me in the picture.
Okay, but you think I did a good job?
Hell of a job.
Good.
All the way around.